Great, guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited again to come back to you with more content and basically to share more tips in credit, more tips in agriculture, more tips in finance. All right. So for today, I want to basically share some tips with you, my colleagues that are in credit management, debt collection, in terms of ideas or initiatives that can help you to do your work even better. Okay, so there's a shift in terms of how you look at debt collection. There's a shift in terms of how you look at recovery at the moment. And the shift basically has been necessitated by this pandemic that we are going through. Okay, so there's a shift that we no longer look at it as aggressive debt collection and recovery. We need to then come up with concepts of control. So instead of you saying we are debt collectors, we are recovery experts or consultants, the shift that needs to be there is that you are basically engaged to manage and control the debt portfolio. So it's about control and it's about management. So it's now going beyond aggression. It's now going, beginning to bring in these soft aspects to this process, the human face to collections, where you basically say, we are controlling and we are managing. And I think for me, I totally agree with that. These are not normal times. These are quite difficult times. So you need to build good relationships with your customers and agree on how you manage and handle overdue balances. So today I'll be sharing on chasing payments, because I think it's important with the challenges that the world is going through now, in terms of cash flow, in terms of businesses and so forth, and the struggle that most businesses are having. I think it's important that we begin to speak more on the tips and ideas on how we can handle chasing payments. So I'll be dealing with you on chasing payments. I basically have 5 principles or 5 tips to share, but in this session we only handle 1 tip: chasing payments. So the tip that I want to share with you today in terms of chasing payments is just to let you know that if you have issued invoices to customers, you have billed your customers. Okay, so let's just say we are in July, okay, and you've sent out billings in the month of June. So what you need to do is to look at that report for billings. Look at your debtors book. Okay, that's a summary. Look at your debtors book and then do your basic sorting and identify significant amounts that you have issued out or you have billed out. So in short, I'm saying that the strategy now must be that of separation or extraction. You need to extract the material amounts from your debtors list. Sometimes you may be wasting time chasing small amounts. Of course, every dollar or every kwacha, as it may be, matters. But at least for you as a supervisor, for you as a credit manager, or for you even as a debt collector, at least for that impactful, punchy resolution, identify significant billings. So let's say you invoiced out 3 invoices, and then from those 3 invoices, 1 invoice was, let's say, worth $200,000 or $100,000, and the rest of the invoices was like $10,000 or $5,000. So your role is to identify and begin to focus on the $100,000 billing. Okay, so that's the strategy that we want to share. So step number 1, you take a step. You extract your debtors listing, identify the significant amounts, and pack them. Okay, and begin to focus on them. So what do you do? So for all the huge significant billings, you need to look at the due dates when you expect to be paid, and there's stuff you need to do before the due date. Okay, so a few days before the amount is due for your customers to pay you, pick up the phone. I would recommend 7 days. 7 days before you're paid, pick up the phone. Call your customer and begin to make certain confirmations. Confirming, 1, whether they have actually received the invoice. Why are you doing that? Okay, my experience with different companies that I've worked with is that when you issue invoices, they tend to go through different processes. Some invoices get straight into the finance department, depending on how that company is structured. Other payments or invoices, rather, they go to the managing director. And still yet others, especially in the mines, you find that those invoices will be sent directly to the procurement departments. So you need to pick up the phone and call, and that will help you to assess and determine where your invoice is sitting. The ideal is that the invoice must sit in the accounts department in the payable section, because then you know it's ready for payment. For the big mines, it may sit in the treasury department, but at least there's comfort that your invoice is ready. The only thing that is outstanding or remaining is for you to get paid. Okay, so pick up the phone call, find out where is your invoice. That phone call will help you determine where it is. For instance, your invoice might be in a wrong department or wrong section. The phone call will help you to assess where your invoice is, and if you need to intervene or take steps, or make phone calls to your customers, or call someone from the other side to pick up the invoice and make sure that it's delivered to the right section, that is the opportunity. That will give you that opportunity. The other reason why you need to make that phone call 7 days before due date is that when you call, it helps you assess whether there's any queries on your particular invoice or billing. I've been in a finance department, and I know that sometimes if the invoice amount and the order amount are not agreeing, or they are not in sync, we don't pay. Okay, you don't actually pay. So whether you're dealing with the mines or you're dealing with a not-for-profit institution, provided they have a robust system, just need to be sure that your invoice value and their order value are in sync. If they are not in sync, or for some reason at the time they were posting, the amounts were not agreeing, chances are that you're not going to get paid. And that's the benefit of that call. You make the call, it helps you to determine whether your invoice is ready for payment. Okay, so for today, because of time, I will basically end here. Tip number 1 that I've shared with you today, and I'm saying focus on significance, and then at the end of the day, call before the due date, and that phone call 7 days before you are paid will help you confirm, secure your payments. Remember, the fact that you invoiced a huge amount means that you also put in a lot of money to support that billing. Therefore, you need to protect your investment. That you cannot protect it through those easy steps that you make. So thank you very much for joining me. So see you soon as we discuss the remaining 4 tips. Thank you.